Hey folks, so today I want to tell two stories about leadership. There's no moral to these stories, they're just stories, and I think they sort of have, each one has a different moral, which is the funny part. Or maybe they don't. That's for you to decide. The first one starts when I'm about 8 years old and I'm in Yosemite. You know how they do like off-sites for schools and stuff where you go and you hike and all that kind of stuff. So we're at this campground. The leader, the counselor person, assigns us a task. We have to build something. I forgot exactly what it was. I think we have to like figure out how to get a giant like contraption on the top of a table without using our hands. So we start doing this and I'm saying, okay, you go do that and then you use your feet and then I'll stand here on my back. And then the counselor suddenly says, okay, keep going except for the next 2 minutes, Jack can't say anything. I was so embarrassed. Felt it in my stomach. Because I realized I'd been like bossing people around and like talking for the last 2 minutes. Man, that was such a crummy experience and it really stuck with me. As a leader, your job is to kind of be an editor, not necessarily the writer. I was trying to write a lot, I guess. Not that anyone had like dubbed me leader in that setting as a bunch of 8-year-old kids. No moral, I just thought it was an interesting story. Okay, that's story number one. Story number two, I'm backstage at this event. All these people are lined up telling the students about what what their companies are and what they do and blah, 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 blah. Backstage, this line of 50 people, the folks like that were 25 through 50, they were so far from the stage, they could barely even see it. So they were like looped around a hallway. And so they're all talking and chatting and yelling and laughing and everything. And what they don't know is that all that sound is just blowing right onto the stage. And the people giving the talks on stage, I could see them. I was peering out because I was right backstage. I was peering out looking at them, and the people giving the talks could hear all the laughter and the screaming and the sound. And so they would literally say like, so I think you all have heard of Microsoft. Microsoft is, and so they were like totally distracted and you could see them like looking off stage. Anyway, it was a bad setup. Finally, I was like, this is gonna be terrible. I felt like such a D. This was the worst. I felt terrible doing this, but I also felt like I had to do this. So I walked down the line and I was like, shh. I went one by one down the line and like got everybody to be really quiet. And I felt like such a bag because I could see some people like rolling their eyes, but I also felt like it was the right thing to do. I guess I learned nothing in Yosemite. Except there's a redeeming part of this story. At the end of this whole thing, a guy walks by me and he goes, hey man, thanks for silencing everybody and getting everybody quiet. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he was like, thanks for being the guy that nobody wants to be. Shh. At first, like I was like, is he insulting me? And then he like shook my hand. He was like, really appreciate it, man. Thank you. And like he was being sincere, but the way he said it was, thanks for being the guy that nobody wants to be. That's such a weird thing to say to somebody, but it was true. Like that's what had happened at that point. Like again, there's no moral here. It's just sometimes you're embarrassed and it sucks when you have to do something that you know you have to do, but it's the right thing to do and nobody wants to do it. But to make the speeches go well, people have to shut up and somebody's got to get people to shut up. Shh. And at the same time, you have the Yosemite end of the spectrum where if you're the guy nobody wants to be too much or the lady nobody wants to be too much, then somebody tells you to shut up. Again, no moral here. I just thought those were two interesting stories about leadership. I hope that was interesting. Leave me comments. Let me know what you think. See you later.